Welcome to Around the Whiteboard, sponsored by Beyond the Whiteboard. Heather, you should use this. John, you should get your affiliate to use this. Zane, you should get Dignus, the guys and gals at Dignus, to use it.
I got some people.
So I set up, a guy messaged me and said, oh, I scanned the QR code, which is up in the top corner there. And I had a call with Beyond the Whiteboard. And I was more so scanning the QR code as a favor to you and the show to say, oh, I like the show, I'm going to support by scanning the QR code, which feel free to do. And he set up the call and he went in, not apprehensive, but he was like, I don't know how they're going to get me off my current thing. I really like it. And he said, yeah, he's going to change. So he had a conversation with him. He realized it was cheaper than what he has 2 gyms and 2 different systems in the 2 gyms. And neither of the systems do the same as each other, but Beyond the Whiteboard does both of the things that both of the other systems do. So it's just better. So you should do what Gary did and just scan the QR code, set up a call and improve your affiliate for less than you're probably paying now for the offering that you currently have from a subpar, like push press or whatever piece of shit you're using. But if Beyond the Whiteboard don't continue sponsoring the show for the rest of the year, push press, feel free to get in touch. All right, we've got 3 topics. We've got Roman's here as Hitler's phone friend. He was very good on your show the other day, actually, yesterday.
He's a monster. Yeah.
Can I just say, I was talking to JR about this today. I think you are the biggest male CrossFitter in the space. I do not think, maybe Rich, but I don't think there's anybody else who could go live twice in one day and get like 16,000 views across the 2 shows. I don't think there's any. Maybe like if Fraser does it, it happens the first time he does it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this is shit, I'm not coming back." But you like went live twice yesterday and got more views, and I'd say argue more views than a lot of the female CrossFitters would as well. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, there you go. I'm right. That's it.
Live views.
Yeah, like 8,000 on one, and not concurrent, like after the fact.
It's about that 15-minute retention.
Yeah, I made it actually after this. If people can go and watch the Lucy video that I made, the drop off is on 11 minutes, which is fine because it's 35 minutes long. So fuck you guys for not watching the last.
All about the retention, baby.
Yeah. They actually, anyone that stops watching 11 minutes, you're missing literally the best bit is on from 12 to 14 minutes and you're just missing it all. So it's just go back and watch the next like 30 seconds. All right, we've got Zane Healey at 4 a.m. in Australia. I honestly can't believe that he agreed. I said, hey, what time is this there? And he said 4 a.m. I was like, yeah, probably don't fancy doing a debate. He's like, no, I'll do it, which is pretty cool. I got John Young, who's back post-baby. He's postpartum.
Mm-hmm. She's right here next to me right now.
Is that thing gonna cry? I can't do it crying, baby.
Oh, crying.
Yeah, they cry.
She's pretty out right now. But if she does, I'll.
It can't be any more annoying than his dogs. In fairness,
I love his dogs, man.
I'll mute up.
Andrew Hiller, who's won last week and he's back this week. Right, we've got 3 topics. Zane, you're closest to me, so you're going to go first. Would you like 1, 2, or 3?
He gets to pick.
We'll just start with 1.
1. Okay. Are you a CrossFit athlete if you don't do the open? So I saw Emma Tall came out recently enough and said she's not going to do the CrossFit Open and she won't take part in the CrossFit Games. And then I saw that Go Primal are doing a podcast and they have CrossFit athlete Emma Tall, and I didn't read the rest. It was like, yada, 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 like title. But it introduced her as CrossFit athlete. So my question to you is, if you're, and we're excluding injury or went through some horrific like illness and I'm sick in February. I'm just talking about if you decide, no, I'm not doing the game season, I'm going to do World Fitness Project or whatever else instead, are you a CrossFit athlete? Zane, you're starting us off. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I think if you're paid to compete in CrossFit events, then you can consider yourself one, but I don't know if you kind of earn the right to anymore. I think the fact that like you're not supporting the CrossFit community or what you kind of started with coming into the sport, I don't know if that's kind of fair to call yourself that, just because so many other people have to like pay their way in and they're trying to support the affiliates and everything that kind of CrossFit's been built off with the methodology, and to just kind of leave it and say you're not going to be a part of CrossFit anymore, I don't think is really fair, even though you're still competing in other CrossFit events, you know, like Wodapalooza or Rogue or some of those other big events that call themselves, you know, CrossFit events, even though they might not be licensed directly by CrossFit. I don't think it's, you know, so you're kind of just a fast fitnesser at the end of the day. You're not really a part of that CrossFit community anymore. So, yeah.
Your time's up. All right, good stuff. Right, John, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
So since it's Emmental, I think we're talking about CrossFit Games athletes claiming they're still CrossFit if they don't do the game season. And I akin it to like an NAI football player saying collegiate football player in his profile when he played D3 football or something lower than that, instead of and comparing themselves to a guy that went to Alabama and saying you're the same thing. If you don't do it at the highest level, which is the CrossFit Games, I don't think you can say you are a CrossFit athlete. So I would say no, but you could say yes, but you're not really. If you say it, I don't believe you. Does that make sense? Or like everybody knows that you didn't do the real thing. You're not competing at the highest level. You're doing other things that are like it.
Okay.
So no.
6, 5.
You say it, but I don't believe you.
Hiller, you've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
It's almost like you guys have never run a CrossFit affiliate where every single person that walks into the doors is considered a CrossFit athlete. Every single one of them. The delineation between the two is that in order to be considered professional, you have to be competing in the CrossFit Games season, and you have to probably be in contention or not making the CrossFit Games. Now, the biggest difference between like a high rocks person who is doing specifically kind of CrossFit movements, they're pushing sleds, they're doing wall balls, and a CrossFitter is whether or not they're always doing the same thing. So I think that anybody who's constantly varying movements is considered a CrossFitter, right? Time domains, weights, and all that stuff. But in order to be considered a professional, which I'm changing the question on Peter a little bit, has to be done at the highest level, and the highest level is the CrossFit Games. So no, I mean,
CrossFit athlete.
Yes. Everyone who does CrossFit the way that you are intended to by the method, including the question to be, is a CrossFit athlete.
Okay. All right, Zane, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I don't think either of them referred to the Open. So I think everyone that's signing up for the Open, I think you should be able to call yourself a CrossFit athlete, but I think you can be a professional CrossFit athlete. But I don't think you earn the right to really try and promote the sport or promote what you're doing in the realm of CrossFit unless you sign up for.
Yeah, your time's up. There's a bit of a delay on yours as well, I think. So we're going to try and deal with that. Right. I don't know why I said we're going to try and deal with that. As if I'm going to do something on the back end to fix it. It just is what it is. John, you got 20 seconds.
Sorry.
Time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I referenced the CrossFit Games season. So I think the Open I was including into that. What Hiller said is exactly what I said, just rambled in a different way. I will say that my rambling was a little bit more discombobulated than his ramble, but it was literally the exact same thing.
I don't think it was. All right, Hiller, you got 20 seconds. Off you go.
I think it's ridiculous to say that you have to pay money to be considered an athlete. So, no, you don't need to sign up for the CrossFit Open. It was insinuated in my entire answer, Zane. But no, I didn't explicitly say that you had to or did not have to sign up for the Open. But no, you do not have to sign up for it.
So you're saying that, just while I do up the points here, you're saying that if I am once you're a member of a CrossFit affiliate, you're a CrossFit athlete. And then if you choose to go down the competitive route within that,
you've got the potential
or
to
don't. Well, it doesn't change the fact that you're a CrossFit athlete based on whether or not you do the Open. You just are.
It's like, do you play football? Yeah. How good are you at football? Are you good enough to play in the NFL? Like, everyone plays football. Are you an NFL athlete?
I think you're more in the term of like trying to support them and trying to support everything that you've kind of said that you're about. more than just actually
Support
doing
what?
the sport. CrossFit as a whole, like the actual, everything that's been built upon.
I'm not really sure that was the question.
Well, he kind of
mean,
the only
I
thing
feel like-
the only thing you're not supporting is the open. You're supporting your affiliate. You're paying your membership. Your affiliate is paying its fees. So the only thing you're not supporting is,
I guess, the whole CrossFit season as a whole.
How about the people
You're
who
not
don't sign up for
supporting.
the
You're not
open?
supporting CrossFit.
Yeah, what about people who
well,
don't
what?
sign up for the
Hey,
open,
hey,
but, like,
hey! What the fuck have the affiliates done for the athletes lately? That's my question.
You got me, dude.
Nothing. That's what. All right, there's a score. John's on 0. He'll be thrilled with that. Hitler's on 2. John, you didn't even come close to answering the question. John, Hitler's on 2. Him and Zane were both on
made
1.5
sense in my
until
head.
Hitler actually answered the question at the end of his. But the first line of Hitler's answer overall got him a 1.5, basically, of if you walk into an affiliate and you're a member of the affiliate and you do constantly varied movements, then yeah. Is that the first 0 given? It's the first 0 given on the first answer, but Seth got 0 like last week on his second answer or third answer. So congratulations, John. I think Spin said back up here, John's got daddy brain. And it was pretty evident during that first non-coherent.
I'll try to
ramble.
make it better. I'm sorry.
Daddy
He needs his
brain.
own
Don't
routine.
apologize, man. All right. Second topic, John, would you like 2 or 3?
Doesn't matter. Hit me.
God, you fucking
Just
bitch.
fucking pick one, man. Just for
John wants 4.
2.
He wants to make up his own question.
All right, who's going to podium at Tyr Wodapalooza? So we're talking about the individuals specifically because we don't have all day. So the individuals kick off on Thursday. They're going to take on some events, 6 events in total, right? On Thursday and Friday, 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday. You can watch it on Wodapalooza's YouTube. I think if you search like Loud and Live or something, it comes up there. I'm sure the Spin will be doing some spin casts as well, John, are they?
Hey, yes, we're doing the spin cast, and then I'll do pre and post shows with Savon. I'm pretty sure.
Cool. And there's a show tomorrow evening. No, 3 p.m., 7 a.m., the usual Savan time on Thursday. I think there's a preview show. Is that right? It's scheduled anyway. So have a look, turn on notifications. And then you guys are doing the spin tomorrow night, so you can talk about it there too. All right, who's going to podium at Tyr Wodapalooza? John, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I don't think anybody can argue that the 3 people that are going to podium for the men and women are Austin Hatfield, Jeff Adler, Ricky Garrard for the men, and then Laura Horvath, Alexis Raptis, and Ariel Lowen for the women. If you want to try to argue Hatfield is not in there, you're wrong, and you will see that you're wrong. The only person I think you could throw in there is Vellner, and I told you he was going to be 4th place at the games. He's going to be 4th place at Wodapalooza. I don't think you can argue anybody else other than those 3. And if you do, you're wrong. And then Austin Hatfield's going to win Wodapalooza. That's it. That's the case.
Do you want to back it up with some facts? You got like 15 seconds.
Okay. Well, wait. Yeah. So I mean, Austin's gonna beat Jeff in 4 out of the 6 events. They're literally all short man movements, and then you have the clean. He's gonna beat him at the clean. You said Tyr. That's what the other athletes are going to shed whenever he destroys.
Oh, your time's up. You wasted so much time just repeating yourself. You should have just given some facts. All right, Hiller, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
When it comes to Wodapalooza, year over year, I always look at the programming, and it's always kind of interesting to me. This year is very along those lines where Vellner has a history of doing incredibly well at Wodapalooza. Ricky always has a habit of doing really well at Wodapalooza. Those will be on the podium for sure. And Elder's always a great athlete when it comes to going to the games. And it's going to be no different at Wodapalooza. I very much agree with what John has to say with the 3 women. It's going to be Lowen. Not winning. It's going to be Raptis at 2nd, Lowen in 3rd, and Horvath's going to win Wodapalooza. I don't know if Zane's going to have anything to say about that. But when it comes to Hatfield, John was right about the games, but the only reason John was right about him finishing top 10 at the games is because of those 2 freaking final workouts, which are right up his wheelhouse. Vellner is a monster at these whatever short-styled freaking what's the Latondra style HWPO DECA comp crap that they're at Wodapalooza.
Tyr. All right, Zane, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
So it's going to be just the same thing. But I think the fact that Jeff hasn't kind of lost like that in-person comp like in a while, you can't basically count him out, especially if he hasn't done Wodapalooza. Individually, he's just
Cheer.
been doing team. I still think competes super well. I think the fact that Ricky is he's won it twice, and it just proves that kind of that style of programming, well, I think any style of programming, because he's so good, really suits him. And then I'll be interested to see how he's doing off the back of starting with Proven. And then I think you've basically got between Austin, James, and Vellner for that third spot, but I'm probably leaning to Austin just because of the range of movement in some of the workouts and the fitness level. And then I think for the chicks, you've got Laura, Alexis, and Ariel. I think Laura, even if she takes like a 15th on that event with handstand push-ups, I still think she's going to have too much of a gap in other events that she'll be able to make up those points and probably win overall. So Ricky, Jeff, Austin, Laura, Alexis,
All right,
Ariel.
your time's up. Your time's up. All right. I just gave Zane a quarter of a point because he said for the chicks, and I was like, no, that's a cool way of moving on from the guys. I like that. All right, John, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
You throw Vellner in there, but what is he going to beat Austin at? He's not going to beat him in running. He's not going to beat him in thrusters and muscle ups. He was 2 for 2, beat everybody by a minute at the games in both of those events. He's not going to beat him in bench press and chest to bar. That's a Colton Mertens workout. He's not going to beat him in literally anything. Not going to beat him in the clean. And Jeff Adler was a minute slower on limb.
Time's up. Ortega, Grace.
Yeah, you're
Grace
cutting me
isn't
off
going
with
to
2
Wodapalooza.
seconds left.
Yeah.
Not on my end. Grace isn't going to Wodapalooza. So if she was to podium at Wodapalooza, it would be quite remarkable considering she's currently asleep in bed in Australia. All right, Hillary, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Austin will beat him in the clean, but there's no way he beats him on a run. But we do know that Austin's pretty good at step-ups. I just think that Vellner's going to definitely have the upper hand on that workout, especially considering the bike that has to come into it, the chest bar one. I just don't know why you immediately go into Colton Mertens. I mean, they're different people. Austin Hatfield is literally my size. We measured him in my video.
No, your time's up. All right, Zane, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I just don't think you can say Jeff is going to beat Austin in those events in 4 out of 6 events, just with the, how fit Jeff is and just some of the movements. He just doesn't seem to have like those gaping hole that might show up. Yeah, I said that was bad. But then, yeah, I'm saying on the guy's side, Ricky, Jeff, Austin, and I'm just going to keep the girls.
Time's up. Oh, fuck. That was good.
I got it.
All right.
Austin's about to gape Jeff's hole so big,
he's
Zane. You're going to see it happen in real life.
He's going to clip that.
I don't think Jeff's going to finish inside the top 10. Just saying.
That's fucked up. And you're wrong.
All right.
Also, with burpees and chest to bar, Colton's not competing, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Hatfield's got Colton's body type.
He's basically
anything that Colton is great at, any home run that Colton has, that Colton's going to just be the best in the world. Hatfield's the second best in the world. We've seen it in 6 different workouts.
That's one way.
Different person, but
just on the home runs, that Colton's going to have, Hatfield's the second best in the world.
That's racist.
One of them breeds rabbits and one of them breeds wieners. So they're pretty similar, really. I mean, it's basically like they're cut from the same cloth. Hitler's on 3.5. John's on 3. That was pretty incredible turn of events from John there. Zane's on
3 points there for saying what? He's just jerking off Austin Hatfield for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but he actually argued back when Zane gave him some as well.
He was gaping.
All right. Relax. Sorry, there's a delay there. Also, guys, it's Tyr Wodapalooza, just so you know. Okay, our last.
Is that what you were saying
topic.
Every time you were talking during my answer?
Yeah, nobody was saying Tyr. Everyone was just saying Wodapalooza. For a minute, I thought John was going to say Noble Wodapalooza.
That's messed up, dude.
All right.
By the way, there's a 2-second delay on the clock. You cut me off at 2 seconds every time. I don't know on your end. I'm saying
but that means
you guys.
Yeah, but that means but hang on. That means you're starting early as well. So then you're getting the 2 seconds the other end. Because
I'm waiting on my clock to start. I'm asking, are you guys got the same thing going on? I just want to make sure it's like a even playing field.
No, sorry, I think it's this year.
God, I'll give you an extra 2 seconds in the next round. Fuck me. All right. What are people saying? There we go. Gaping hole. Zane wins. When did Hatfield last beat Pat?
The last 2 workouts at the games.
There you go. Currently sleep in bed, locked in Pedro's basement. No, I just have the live feed. From Zane's room. Okay, Hitler should just sit out the next round. Okay. Hatfield reminds me of Fraser so much.
Not
Right.
yet.
Gonna go into coaching after this.
Won CrossFit games.
No, John Young isn't competitive at all. Lol. Yeah, he's complaining about 2 seconds. This guy looks like he wears pajama pants to the gym and just sits on the bench stretching his arms for an hour. That has to be directed at Zane.
Come train
In
with
Zane's
me, I'll
defense.
put you in a gaping hole.
In Zane's defense, it is 4 a.m. So he likely is wearing pajama pants right now, sitting on the edge of a bench, but still.
And he's probably
Um,
stretching
Any
like
pants.
somewhat of a elbow shoulder, stretch.
Yeah,
I
he has a lot of shoulder work to do. Or a lot of like, what did you injure? Your shoulder?
I tore my pec.
Oh, okay.
So
So
good.
you do a lot of benching then. Okay, we've got. Do we have a gaping count going yet? Yeah, Zane's on 4. He said it 4 times there, and someone in the comments said it. All right, and John shouted, "Austin Hatfield is going to gape Jeff Adler's hole" at one point as well, which was unexpected but enjoyable. I'm telling you, John, you've changed since you had that baby. All right, Hiller, you've got. I'm on the wrong clock. You've got 60 seconds. And our next topic is, should the World Fitness Project pay their judges? They're aiming to professionalize the sport. They are aiming to, Grant. They are aiming to professionalize the sport, and they have put out a bat signal, present company, flattery intended. They've put out a bat signal looking for volunteers and judges, and they've offered some t-shirts and stuff to the judges. And then what was that other event that said they're paying judges $100? Was that Syndicate?
NorCal.
NorCal are paying their judges $100. So
A day.
oh shit, a day.
And
Okay,
also there's
that's
some
like,
confusion there. It's written as the schedule, and it's like not 8 hours or 10 hours of work. That if you read the email, it's like
like
3
you'd be
hours.
doing shifts or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not like a fucking 10-hour death shift.
Still for $100. I mean,
That's more than
all right. So
$10 an
Taylor, you've
hour.
got 60 seconds. Should the World Fitness Project pay their judges as they aim to professionalize the sport? Your time starts now. Off you go.
So here's the thing. I make all these YouTube videos. I've done this show a couple times, and I received this email. And this email asks me these questions, such as, where are the people going to finish at Wodapalooza? I'm pretty familiar with Wodapalooza. I've seen it year over year. And you've also asked me this question, which is, should the World Fitness Project pay their judges? And I went over to their Instagram page to get some context as far as like, what is the World Fitness Project? I see this picture of Will Morad, and it's interesting. I think he's retired. I think he's a former athlete. And I go through this season overview, and I'm asking, like, is this something that's going to run in conjunction or alongside the CrossFit Games? I see that all these are CrossFit athletes, and they're all signed. I just don't really know what it means. Signed, does it mean that they're like contractually obligated to do things? It's like, where do we see what the athletes is? The World Fitness Project telling us what's going on with these people? Why are they saying it's not like, I guess so-and-so signed free agent contracts? I go to the bottom, I just see this logo, and I just don't know what any of this has to do with anything.
Your time's up. You can answer the question in the 20 seconds. All right. Instead of giving the fucking backstory of getting the email with the question, I was like, what email is he talking about? You wasted 25 seconds telling me that I emailed you a question. All right, Zane, you got 60 seconds. Should the World Fitness Project pay their judges? Your time starts now. Off you go.
I think it's super bold to assume that they're going to have enough people that aren't doing every other CrossFit event to come over and kind of judge for them. I think they should pay their judges if they're keeping like the same ones, because they've obviously got 3 events over the season, and then you've got your final. Then are they keeping the same judges, the same review team for each comp? If they are, then I think, why not have them, travel or at least pay for their flights or accommodation if you're really saying you're trying to bring this thing off the ground and support them. it also just depends on like who the judges are and how they're going to kind of go through that process. I think if they're doing separate or just one individual comp and then the best ones do the final, then they should be paid just for the individual comp. But yeah, it's a hard one. But yeah, I think if they're choosing to support it and they're trying to professional.
Time's up. Hard one. Gaping hole. You're on a roll, Zane. Right. John, you got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
So the answer, I mean, if they're giving the athletes $30,000 to $80,000 contracts and they're saying like this is the way to professionalize the sport, absolutely you should pay the judges. And if they want to win people over, they would pay them more than every other competition. The fact that they aren't, like, you're not going to win any people over when you're asking for volunteers. If you look up who is supporting on Barbell Spin, you can say who is supporting, how does Will paying for all this. It's Beth and Quentin Gillette. And I looked up their net worth. They're worth $250 million. I don't know why you wouldn't just allot for $50,000 to pay judges over the course of your season. You give them contracts over the year too. $10,000 or $5,000 a judge. You guys show up at 3 spots. We'll pay for travel. Done. I don't know why you don't do that, but they absolutely should.
Just giving you your extra 2 seconds.
I appreciate it.
And your time is up. All right, Hiller, you've got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Peter, you're giving me a hard time for not answering the question, but I just don't even understand what this project is. I mean, John's over here throwing around numbers of $30,000. Is that contract question signed thing I was asking before? I just don't know. How do you know the judges aren't getting paid? How do I know what the athletes are getting paid? Oh, it's because the freaking media is doing everything for them.
I'm so glad.
It's not for us. There's no fucking World Fitness Project. They're on.
No, go on.
Who's Fraba?
Who's what?
Did I change colors?
Hiller knows where it's from.
Yeah, anger management.
You were Red Hook there for a minute.
I'm just
all right,
I
Zane.
don't know what's going on.
Zane, you got 20 seconds. Time says now. Off you go.
Yeah, so I know a few of the judges that have done touring, and they all have to pay out of their own pocket over and wherever they're from in Australia to compete. And I think just because they're so, committed to the sport and they just love seeing the big comps that they want to do that. But if they want people to travel all over the world to try and judge for them, then I think they have to pay for the flights at least.
All right, your time's up. Yeah, I mean, I can't help but just side with John that it's kind of like, hang on, if you can offer $50,000-$60,000, why can you not offer $1,000 to a judge? Why can you not take $2,000 off every athlete's contract?
Is there a website
and give $1,000 to each judge?
Where can I see how much they're getting?
Would you
paid?
say that?
Yeah, and if you don't know, if you don't like it's not out there. If you don't know
out there?
if they're paying their judges or not, or the contract, like, why would you not want to be upfront as possible about that? If you were paying your judges, would you not want that to be out there so people are like, look, we take care of the people that work with us?
Well, they've said they're not paying their judges, though, right? And that post looking
I'm
for
saying
judges.
it's a bad look whenever the owner that's supporting you has $250 million.
But I think I imagine what happened is the owners say, right, here's the investment fund, right? Here's your account with your little checkbook. And then little Willie goes into the bank, takes out some money and says, here, Brooke, here's some money. Come join us. And then he goes back into the bank and he takes out some more money and says, here, Tia, here's some money. Do you want to come and play? And then
so the judges are second-tier citizens, and they run out of money at the bank.
I'd say that I'd imagine it's just the assumption that's been like through CrossFit the whole way, where it's like, oh, they'll volunteer, it's fine, they'll volunteer. And then I know some of the judges get paid at the games. How is that done, Hiller? That's like if you're a flow master, basically, or a seminar staff, you get paid because you're kind of overseeing a section of the floor,
right?
Yeah. So like I think it was Chase said earlier on somewhere that they should, different pay structures. So this should say like, all right, if you're a level 1, we'll pay you $100 a day. If you're a level 2, we'll pay you $250 a day. If you're a level 3, we'll pay you $500 a day. If you're a level 4, you can own the company.
You can't volunteer to judge Jeff Adler at the CrossFit Games.
What?
That makes sense. You can't volunteer to judge Jeff Adler at the CrossFit
Oh, that
Games.
would be a paid person in that heat, is what you mean.
But are they
Probably.
saying like level 1, level 2, level 3 in terms of CrossFit? Because then World Fitness Project have to kind of succumb to.
Well, Chase
saying
is
that
just offering that as a
they're part
suggestion.
of
He's not, I don't
CrossFit.
think he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's saying that. I mean, they can still use that system. You just can't.
They have their,
say,
they have
"Hey,
their
look, we've got all
own
these
system.
CrossFit
They call
judges."
it R1, R2, R3, R4.
Read
Their
what's
next
that?
Instagram
Or-
post, they're just going to sign
Ranking.
all the judges.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah, imagine they did the same. Signed, Brian Fidonde from Colorado. He's the first judge.
Signed Middle Rogue Judge 2021.
Ooh.
yeah. And it's just like this guy
More,
and a
more.
circle around someone in a team picture. Yeah, that's good. I like it. All right, John Young wins after starting on 0. Goes back
You
and
gave
gets
me a
4.5.
I didn't even get my 20 seconds on the last one. On the last fight.
Yeah. Hiller, you got points for comedic effect there in the last round, to be honest. All right, Zane, thank you for getting up at 4 a.m. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. Hiller, oh look,
Baby.
With my minute, I'm gonna just introduce everybody to Abby Grace.
You already won.
That's a squishy
he-
baby.
Hey,
He's
you get a
supposed to
free
get a
you get a
reward
free
time.
minute. You get a free minute if you win, Zane. I know you don't know what that feels like, but
is she sleeping well and stuff? Is it like you thought it would be, or is it harder, or is it easier, or are you doing anything at all and your wife is having a nightmare, but you're like, this is fine, guys. I don't know what the problem is.
That one.
it's tough.
Yep.
It's hard on her sleep, I would say. Much harder on her
Yeah.
sleep than it is my sleep. But no, we're all hands on deck. We're all doing our part. She's
Yeah.
sleeping right now. Leslie is. And so is Miss
So
Abby.
this is you parenting. She's just sitting beside you.
Yeah, she's in this stroller thing over here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Sick
you.
baby, dude.
Sick baby, bro.
Cool. Sweet.
That thing's
Awesome
legit as
baby,
hell.
bro.
That's what's going to be on Wodapalooza. She's going to be in the stroller the whole time while I'm podcasting and yelling. Dude, they sleep through anything.
You're not going to Wodapalooza.
No. But I'll be podcasting 24/7 during it.
John, that wears off. Just a warning. That sleeping through anything thing wears off pretty quick. It's great at the start. You're like, fuck, I can do anything I want for as long as I want. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, it switches.
That's the
Wake
most
hours and
shocking
sleep hours
thing
switch.
is how much they can sleep through. When does that change?
Yeah. These are two interesting points. Patrick Clark says these are great conversations that maybe the World Fitness Project isn't considering right now. And then Dense Update says, but would the World Fitness Project be considering these questions if it weren't for the media asking the questions? I think that's an interesting point. I think where some people say that we're criticizing and complaining, I think what we're actually doing is just trying to make things better. All right, Hiller, thank you. See you on Wednesday,
What's Wednesday?
Miami.
Oh yeah. I'll be
Cool.
You want me to bring Grace in? I'll
Um,
go bring her in from the side.
Oh, she'd love that. Yeah, just carry her in. She's sleeping right now.
Yeah, she's got 2
Yeah.
sausage dogs spread across the bed.
there. A what?
Wiener dogs.
No, we
Wiener
call those
dogs.
dildos.
Oh,
I imagine those big old pillows. You know, I don't know, like, why you call them sausage dogs? You know, like the long ones that you hug.
Sometimes I say things.
Oh,
that
yeah.
The body pillows?
We call those what? Yeah, the body pillows.
Uh,
They're the long ones.
they're not that long.
She's actually still asleep. I can see on the live feed here, Zane. She's still asleep on the OnlyFans. I can see. Thanks, thanks, Zane, for coming on. John, thanks for coming on. Congrats on the win. Hiller, thanks. See you in a couple of days. Go and watch the spin tomorrow evening. And Savan tomorrow night, pretty much straight after that. And go and watch the Lucy McGonigal video. as well, please. I'd like if you did that. And scan that QR code and set up a call with Beyond the Whiteboard. Even if you've no intention, even if you don't own a phone, just find a way to do it. Thanks, everybody. Good luck. God bless.